First up, the mysterious death of Bobby Fuller. The death of Bobby Fuller has been the subject of mystery and speculation due to various circumstances surrounding the case. While the official cause of death was reported as asphyxiation due to inhalation of gasoline, some factors have raised questions and led to alternative theories. Bobby Fuller was born on October 22, 1942 in Baytown, Texas. His family eventually ended up in El Paso, and it was here Fuller began playing music. In 1961, age 19, he built his own studio in his parents' home, and a few years later started his own band, the Bobby Fuller Four. By the close of 1964, the band had outgrown El Paso and moved to California, where they signed on to Mustang Records. In the spring of 1966, they released I Fought the Law. The song would eventually land in the top 10 and turn them into rock stars almost overnight. I Fought the Law has become the classic outlaw rock and roll anthem and has been covered more than 50 times by the likes of Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, and most famously, The Clash. Although the song was originally performed by the Crickets in 1960, it was Fuller's version with its intense frenetic energy that popularized the songs and drew generations to it. However, within months of I Fought the Law becoming a top 10 hit, on July 18th, Fuller was found dead in an automobile parked outside his Hollywood apartment. He was 23 years old. The Los Angeles Deputy Medical Examiner performed the autopsy. The report states that Bobby's face, chest, and side were covered in hemorrhages, probably caused by gasoline vapors in summer heat. It stated that there was no evidence of beating, and though the boxes for accident and suicide were checked, next to the boxes were question marks. Despite the official cause of death, some believe Fuller was murdered. One puzzling aspect is that Fuller's body was found with a significant amount of bruising, as was reported, and his face was reportedly covered in gasoline. The car itself showed signs of being wiped down, which some found suspicious. Additionally, there were burns on his body that some believed were inconsistent with a simple accidental gasoline inhalation. Another intriguing element is the timing of his death. I Fought the Law had hit the top 10 just 5 months before and showed Fuller and his band hitting their stride. Conspiracy theories have emerged suggesting that Fuller's death was not accidental, but instead a deliberate act of foul play. Some theories propose that he may have been murdered due to involvement with organized crime or a dispute within the music industry. However, it's important to note that there is no conclusive evidence supporting these theories. While the official ruling is that Bobby Fuller's death was accidental, the mysterious circumstances surrounding the bruising, burns, and timing of his death have fueled ongoing speculation and intrigue. The case remains unsolved, and the true nature of his death continues to be a topic of fascination and debate among fans and researchers alike. Next up, the disappearance of Richie Edwards. Richie Edwards was the rhythm guitarist and lyricist of the band Manic Street Preachers. He was known for his intense and introspective songwriting. On February 1, 1995, at the age of 27, he left his room at the Embassy Hotel in London and has not been seen or heard from since. His car was later found near the Severn Bridge, a well-known suicide spot. Despite extensive searches, neither Edwards or his body have ever been found. Manic Street Preachers came out of Blackwood, Wales in the late 1980s. Richie's ferocious intellect fueled the band's first 3 albums, setting them apart from other groups of their generation. His lyrics often delved into themes of alienation, self-destruction, and existential despair. He has been cited as a leading lyricist of his generation and helped lead a Welsh cultural movement in music and independent film in the 1990s and 2000s. Edwards' contribution to the band was less as a musician, but more of a lyricist, and influenced their musical direction and sound. Their 3rd album, and last one with Edwards, The Holy Bible, was released in 1994 and is regarded as a dark masterpiece. It has continued to be acclaimed in the years since its release, with many British music magazines listing it as one of the best albums of the 1990s. However, throughout their entire existence, Edwards had severe depression and was open about it in interviews. On May 15, 1991, after a gig at the Norwich Arts Centre, a journalist from the NME questioned how serious Edwards was about his art. Edwards responded by carving the words "for real" into his forearm with a razor blade. The injury required 18 stitches. The disappearance of Richie Edwards remains an enduring mystery and subject of speculation for fans, friends, and the music community. Numerous theories have emerged over the years, but nothing definitive. Some theories suggest that Edwards took his own life due to his struggles with depression. Others propose that he faked his disappearance and started a new life. The remaining members of Manic Street Preachers carried on as a trio after his disappearance and still pay tribute to their former member on subsequent releases. The ninth Manic Street Preachers album, Journal for Plague Lovers, released on May 18, 2009, is composed entirely of songs with lyrics left by Edwards. As of 2005, the remaining members of Manic Street Preachers were still paying 25% royalties into an account in his name, and fans still pursue leads. If you like this video, subscribe, like, and we'll keep doing more.